It's Lady May. And I'm back with another vibe session. Alrighty, guys, I'm back with another vibe session. Today's vibe session is about the new moon in Cancer that just passed. Okay, y'all. This was on July 14th. So, I'm only a week post, you guys. So we're here. So, what's that called? The half moon. But like the waxing half moon. That's where we're at right about now. So if you're doing any work, or you keep up with the cycles, it's a good time to observe what has gone on since the new moon. When the moon starts to crescent, that's a good time to set your intentions. And then when the moon gets to the half moon, the half waxing moon, it's a good time to pay attention to what has come about in relation to what you're trying to bring forth or release. That's just a tidbit. And Cancer rules the moon, or the moon rules Cancer. There we go. The moon rules the sign of Cancer. So, nothing wrong with a little quick moon talk. Okay. But yes, let's get into it. Jump right into it. New moon in Cancer was on Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. It was at 20 degrees, 21 degrees, which is a Sagittarius degree. It occurred on Mars Day, and it was a 4-day. The numerology, it was a 4-day. Okay, so we got some different energies. We have Cancer energy, we have Mars energy. So we have Cancer energy, which is the moon. Okay, and then we have Mars energy, which is Aries and Scorpio. And then we have 21 degrees, which is the Sagittarius degree. So, Cancer, Aries, Scorpio, Sagittarius. So 2 cardinals, a fixed, and a mutable sign. Just throwing that out there. And a channeled song, Funny How Time Flies, by Janet Jackson. And I'm just getting excited because everything's aligning. Because in Funny How Time Flies, Janet Jackson, she's speaking French. Okay, and currently we are in the Barbalt's basket. 4 planets at 4 degrees right now. And apparently he predicted this a while ago. I don't know when. Maybe, I don't know if it was in 2020 or if it was before 2020. I didn't know about I didn't know about Barbalt's basket till like 2 weeks ago, y'all. I'm gonna keep it real. But I love it because I don't know what's going on with France. I don't know, but America, United States, and just the way that it was created, we have a lot of French influence. So, I'm enjoying tracking this underlying French influence because this isn't the first French influence that I've tapped into here recently. So I'm excited to see how that shows up for us. Okay, and then a channeled message, stability is the foundation to true freedom. Can't argue with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the theme. The theme for us as the Pearlwood community. Okay, because I'm just looking back over some certain things. Okay, so I mentioned that the day that the new moon was at its newest, the energies that I mentioned: Cancer, Aries, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Okay, so we got that Aries and Sagittarius energy. And we currently have Neptune, which is one of the planets in Barbald's basket. Neptune is at 4 degrees Aries. And 21 degrees is Sagittarius energy. So fire energy, fire signs. I say all that to say because we got spark of life, and then there's just that fire right there. Oh my gosh, guys, I did not introduce the vibes. Like I've been doing the past couple vibe sessions, 555. I have a nice 528 hertz frequency playing. I got me a yellow candle burning, Ma Durga, my classic stones. So that's the vibes. You can go get a nice selenite swipe. I genuinely feel the energy from stones. You know, I do think it takes a certain level of sensitivity to actually feel it, but just because you don't feel it doesn't mean that it's not working, because our phones have crystals in them as well, and them motherfuckers work something. And the phones also, electronics in general, especially these days, they affect our electromagnetic field, peeps. So like, stay hip, y'all. It's okay. That's why I'm here. I'll keep y'all hip, especially when it comes to the body, yada yada. We don't got time to keep getting bothered on a frequential level. Because look, I wrote a blog about it. I need to update some things and add on, but yeah. Anyways, selenite, connected to the moon. So y'all can go ahead and get your little swipe. Yeah, and go ahead and get the nice third eye. Then we're gonna drag her on down. Now we're just gonna sweep. All right. I do have a little piece of sage. Sure, why not? I actually haven't burned sage in a while. A while for me is probably like a week. But I just genuinely enjoy sage, like even in cooking. So, yes, negativity, just heaviness. Like, I really can genuinely feel the change in the air too. And they say that 818, you should release. The sage is to release. So you have to call in the energy that you want once it releases the negativity and just the heaviness. So we would like to call in clarity, prosperity, health, wealth, abundance. Okay, in this vibe session. So yes, those were the vibes. Now back to what I was saying about Spark of Life. There's that fire energy. And just the day that the moon was at its newest, there was that fire energy. And then we have Neptune and Saturn, both in Aries already. So this is where I feel like that spark of life for us is coming from. Because Aries, not only is it a fire sign, and not only is it the first fire sign, it's the first sign of the zodiac in general. So that spark of life, we're getting it from Neptune and Saturn. So we're getting that spark back in blood though. Why? Because we've been infiltrated at a frequential level. So yes, we getting that shit back in blood. Hence Saturn. Hence Neptune. These planets that are very far-reaching, and their influence is subtle but long-lasting and long-reaching. So yes, we getting it back in blood. Spark of life. Don't sink into hopelessness and despair, for in you lives a spark of life that is undefeated and unbeatable. You can overcome everything your destiny depends on. Okay. What is our destiny? Okay. This time in history, in cyclical history, Earth's cyclical history, our destiny is to ascend. It's that simple. So we can overcome everything our destiny to ascend depends upon. So don't you dare sink into no helplessness and hopelessness, because you got crazy kookies like me out here that's sitting here taking the time to let y'all know what's really up, because the world's not going to tell you. Not up front anyway. So I'm here to, we're here to help you. So that spark of life is going to help us, revive ourselves. Revive what's been dormant. You see those DNA strands. And there was a volcano that recently erupted. And you guys have to understand how connected we are to Mother Earth and all these disasters, these natural disasters and things. That too is where energy is being released, because Mother Earth is being bothered on a frequential level as well. Okay, we are Mother Earth's children, so whatever's happening to us is happening to her. Okay, and she's like, I'm not going. Fuck you mean. And that's our children, and we're like, period, Mom, we're not going either, girl. That's why we're getting it back in blood. OMG, and we have all the same signs mentioned. Because Cordyceps is represented by, is associated with Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars. Jupiter and Pluto are within Barbalt's basket. They're all at 4 degrees. Pluto's at 4 degrees Aquarius, and Jupiter's at 4 degrees Leo. So they are opposite. They are opposing each other. Okay. I'm gonna link some videos and blogs and articles and stuff that speak on what this energy. I'm sorry if it's windy, y'all. It's windy. And I know it sounds weird, probably. But yes. The spark of life is so we can revive ourselves. That's really what happens with ascension. We're reviving ourselves. All those things that have been dormant simply because of frequential infiltration. Okay? We have literally been being bothered on a sensual level. I wrote a blog called something about sensual. Oh, see. That's how I know I'm spinning that reel, because here the wind's trying to pick up. Okay. It's making me lose my train of thought, kind of. Not too bad. Spark of Life, Barbalt's basket, Jupiter. Okay, and then the new moon was on a Mars day. Cool. So again, I'm just pointing that out because that, like, the energies are prominent. And our destiny is to ascend beyond the frequential infiltration. We are here to ascend beyond the sensual genocide, the intentional sensual genocide. We are here to ascend past that, and we are undefeatable, we are unbeatable, and shit ain't gonna fly. Okay, and this time is bringing us collectively, communally, through an initiation, because we also have cacao. Okay, Neptune and Saturn are pumping us with that fire. And we're being initiated into seeing if we're going to use it properly. And if you're on the Pearl and Wood channel, part of the Pearl and Wood community, you're probably well on your way within this initiation already. You know, it's not nothing that you really have to force. You've probably already been on the path. You may not have had the words, you know. but you've probably already been doing it all along. Like, you've already been ascending, you've already been reviving yourself, you know. All the people, places, mindsets, beliefs, habits that you're releasing, this is reviving you at a cellular level, your DNA, okay? That dormant DNA is coming back online, y'all. And they scared. They so scared they're trying to project the fear back onto us. And we're just like, what? And there's the wind picking back up. I can't make it up. But you know how I like to, y'all know how I like to do. I'm gonna go ahead and read. Cordyceps has been popping up here a lot lately. Does anyone use cordyceps in their wellness? Anything? Because I know, is cordyceps one of the ones that is in like the mushroom coffees and the mushroom teas and stuff? Let me know. But cordyceps, upright, energy, renewal, soaring to new heights, opportunity, activation, resurrection. Easter in July, fuck you mean. And then we had reverse, reconnect to spirit. Resistance to death, ego death. Forgotten your power, weakness. Yikes. Guidance. It's time to soar to new heights. Energy is available to manifest your greatest dreams. Passion is in alignment with knowledge. Energy is in alignment with matter. Okay, it's sounding very alchemical, y'all. We have everything we need to cook. Okay? We have what we need to turn these base metals into gold. Like the great eagle, you are blessed with the connection to the divine. You have an innate ability to live in the realm of spirit, yet remain connected and balanced within the realms of earth. From the heights of the clouds, where the Great Spirit dwells, the Great Eagle mirrors your ability to observe with expansive awareness and achieve great sight beyond the mundane. Eagle and cordyceps represent the courage to channel the higher mind, ether, the realm of illumination, and higher consciousness. If you have been walking in the shadows, you are being asked to reconnect with the element of ether, the divine, and your higher mind. Heal your broken wings with love and seek a higher ground to observe the greatness of what you're made of. Ascension. We are ascending beyond the bullshit. The frequential fucking warfare. All this bullshit. That's what we are ascending beyond. Okay? And if you're not aware, like, I feel like the genuine innocence of the human sometimes cannot fathom the fact that we have been systematically infiltrated to not be able to operate as our highest selves. And I just feel like that's really hard for people to believe. But we're in a time where what has been hard for the mind, the conditioned human mind to believe is reality. Like, yeah. And I know it's crazy and it's hard and it's unbelievable. But one thing that has helped me reframe my mind is like, am I going to keep waking up every day believing something is wrong with me and millions of other people? Or are we going to put our foot down and accept that we were made in God and Goddess image? So are you sure something's wrong with me? Because y'all systems can't sustain my well-being? Okay. Pluto and Aquarius. We're gonna question the fuck out of y'all. What are you saying? It don't make no sense. Make it make sense. And if it ain't making sense, get the fuck away. Okay, but yes, cordyceps. We're reviving our dormant DNA. We're reviving all the pieces of ourselves. We're reviving the inner child. We're reviving the inner teenager. You know, these very significant biological points as well. Like, my peeps, we have to understand how insidious these systems really are. Okay? So when I'm telling you, like, these systems have at least 300 years worth of study of the human condition, especially the human condition when it is exposed to these systems. They have at least 300 years, 350 years worth of study. And they including the years of whenever they unethically were getting information from people. Like, we have all this, they have all this information. And we have been conditioned to just give it away. Okay? But we're at that time, Pluto and Aquarius. They say the age of Aquarius. Some people believe we're in it. Some people believe we're almost there. Some people are super technical. It doesn't fucking matter. We, the people, are going to question. Okay, we're going to stop giving them our information just willy-nilly now. Because we see what they're doing. You are taking this information, using it to infiltrate us. So y'all can create these things to fuel y'all system instead of fueling the human condition. Okay? And we are bursting the fuck up out of that. Okay? Stability is the foundation to true freedom. A lot of people are not stable within their own inner worlds because they're being infiltrated. Because what? Like I was saying, they have at least 350 years of research of the human condition, the human body, what it does need, what it doesn't need, psychology, all this shit. They have all this information. So with that being said, they're very aware of the human, male and female, biological timelines. Okay? And they have so insidiously created these systems and these calendars and these times and all these things to where they can, their systems are getting that juice. Okay? I don't know what to call it. They're getting the prime, they're getting the prime human juice. And they're using it to fuel their man-made bullshit. You know, I'm a seer, so I'm trying to describe it how I see it. Because, I mean, shit, to me, it's very plain. But like it said, energy, passion, everything's in alignment. Energy is available to manifest your greatest dreams, to live our greatest dream, the collective dream, Neptune in Aries. We are independent of these systems. We can depend on each other. We can depend on our community to supplement and also replace all these areas of our lives where these raggedy ass, infiltrating ass systems have been in our lives. Passion in alignment with knowledge. So we got that Mars energy. This new moon in Cancer started on a Mars day. So yes, passion in alignment with knowledge. The knowledge that we are here to ascend beyond this shit. And the energy is in alignment with matter. Meaning, once we allow that available energy to flow through us, we align it with, we use that energy to use the matter. So we use our computers, we use our phones to get on and talk to each other and say, like, hey fam, this is what I peeped, what have you peeped? You know, that's what this means. Energy is in alignment with matter, yes. And like I spoke in the last vibe session, literally speaking things into existence. Okay, there might be processes where it's like, okay, we might have to put the data down and type it out, or we might have to sit in front of the cameras and the phones and talk about it. But once it's out there, it's out there. And that, my friends, is alchemy. Plain and simple. And that just leads to the initiation. And then we get the other planet. Yeah. That's 3. Because I'm like, cordyceps has Jupiter and Pluto, and then this has Uranus. Uranus and Gemini. That's one of the signs in Barbelt's basket. Cacao. Initiation. Because since we've already put in all this work to revive ourselves, to become clearer, to become less dense, to allow ourselves to transform at the cellular level, at the molecular level, at the DNA level, we are being initiated into this unbothered frequential life. Okay. It's, people call it the 5D, people call it New Earth, whatever floats your boat. It's the same. As long as it's the same idea. Like, you've put in all this work to ascend beyond these frequencies, to protect your heart and your inner world from, this infiltration. And that's the initiation. So we got Uranus and Venus. Venus is what we value. Venus is in Virgo right now. And Virgo is about, well, when I think of Virgo reminds me of what it rules. Mercury rules the lungs and the gut. So, Virgo reminds me of the gut. And the gut does what? It converts food into energy on the simplest level. So it extracts nutrients from food. Okay, and we have all types of food. We have food for thought, we have food for belly, we have food for the soul, food for the spirit. So you see what I'm saying? Like, Virgo is the energy that converts all that, or starts the process of conversion, starts to sort through what's useful and nourishing and what's not. Okay, so basically that's what this initiation is about. Because we have Mercury. We have a whole lot of Mercury going on. Because Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Uranus is in Gemini. Okay, and then Venus is in Virgo. So we have both that masculine principle and that feminine principle of Mercury. Which is awesome. Because we flow right next, like, we got Mercury as one of the messages. But let me read from Cacao first before we get there. But yes, Barbelt's belt, being so close to the new moon in Cancer is significant because 4 degrees is a Cancer degree. So we're really doing all of this for the Great Mother. Like, the Great Mother has awakened. And I've been using the analogy, I'm like, look, our mom didn't wake up from her nap, and her house is a fucking mess. And she's popping everybody's ass that did not listen, because she gave us instructions. Not only did she give us instructions, she passed the instructions along to our dad, aka the Most High Father, as y'all love to call Sky Daddy. Okay, mom's in the sky more than dad is. Dad's the one that enforces the rules. Mom is the rules, and it's gonna happen regardless. Dad's the one that helps you prepare yourself for that stuff. Dad helps you prepare for the storms and all that. That's another conversation for another day, though, because I know everybody has their feelings and thoughts and all that. We can chat about that. I don't care. I like to chat. I hang out with kids all goddamn day. Cacao. There's that win. Upright. Initiation. Spiritual test. Revelation. Access to the cosmic heart. Divine love. Light beings. Channeling languages of light. What I say? Speaking things into existence. Sound. I said this in the last vibe session. Sound is the basis of our reality. Okay? They say matter is, sound is. Okay, but reverse Cacao. Broken wings, self-distrust, lack of self-love, step out of your own way. I wanted to mention that too, because I did notice that. Wings. We have the wing Okay, we have the wings of the eagle, and then we have the wings on this card. And the wings on this card is giving me biblically accurate angel. LOL, that always makes me laugh. But okay, and then we got wings from the Quetzal bird. Okay, guidance. Quetzal has flown into your cards today, symbolizing initiation. The sky gods are speaking and bathing your soul in liquid light as you traverse a series of spiritual tests. The Quetzal is considered one of the highest divine apparitions as it is associated to the snake god Quetzalcoatl. Look, y'all, I ain't never learned how to say it, so I know you're gonna be mad at me for butchering it, but Quetzalcoatl is what I've always said. I know that's not how you say it. I know. But yes, the snake god Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent. Oh my gosh, y'all, these are two different decks, and they flow so well together. Don't this look like a motherfucking feathered serpent to you? Like cacao, both are considered precious heavenly gifts from the sky gods. These divine apparitions today are asking you to deeply tune into the cosmic heart. Let it move you. Open yourself to receive the holy gifts provided and listen carefully to the light language pouring through them. Keep elevating your frequency, rooted in unconditional love. Step out of your own way and allow your heart to blossom. Know that through this divine love, we experience the cosmic heart, the gateway to spirit. And I've only spoken about that a little bit in this video, but I know I mentioned, we're protecting our heart and our inner worlds. Literally. Because that's where the information meets. We get our divine information, upper chakras. We get earthly information from the lower chakras, and then they meet in the heart. That's why we gotta protect the heart. We gotta make sure ain't nothing getting past it. Fuck off. Okay, and then this leads us right on into the Mercury. Keyword messages. Mercury's retrograde right now in Cancer, ain't it? What's retrograde over? Hell. Let's see. Mercury is in Cancer. Yes, it's still retrograde. Ooh, and the moon's is at 0 degrees Scorpio. OMG. But yes, Mercury is at 16 degrees Cancer right now. Whole lot of mom, whole lot of home. Home is where the heart is. I say that all the time. Home is where the heart is. But anyways, Mercury's in Cancer. That's the point. Mercury's retrograde in Cancer. So we are reviewing what home means. We're reviewing what motherhood is and what it should be, considering the times. We're reviewing, has the mothering and the nurturing and the nourishing that's been 1414 that's been going on, is it still sustainable? Does it still nurture? Does it still nourish? These are the things that we are all reviewing right now, and we have so much backup. Okay? We have so much backup. But yes, wings. You guys, tap into your wings. Strengthen your wings. We all have them. Alright. Mercury symbolizes your mental switchboard, how you think, communicate, and move through the world. The smallest planet rules Gemini and Virgo and is closest to the Sun, completing its orbit in about 88 Earth days. Because it orbits so close, it can only be found in the same sign as the Sun, the one before it, or one after it. Mercury has a large, dense molten core, and one day on the planet takes 58 Earth days. Mercury retrogrades 3 times a year for 3 weeks, slowing time so you can remember, review, and reconnect. Action. Communicate. The moon is quick, fast, and cerebral. Pluto in Aquarius, air sign. Uranus in Gemini, air sign. So yes, it is quick. And then we have Neptune and Saturn in Aries, fire's quick as well. So yes. The mood is quick, fast, and cerebral. Look at your situation from many different sides. Be light on your feet and make sure you have all the information you need. If not, be ready to research, investigate, translate, mediate, check your facts, and learn. The moon is in Scorpio today, y'all, so it's perfect for that. I'm just trying to remember. Have I said something about all this yet? Follow up on all lines of communication to make sure others understand what you said and you understand what they intended. Publish, broadcast, network, and engage social media. Make the call, submit the resume, send the manuscript. Check all Mercury ruled equipment, such as vehicles and communication electronics. Proofread and back up your files. I just did that today, y'all. Look at me. Sometimes you just live out the astrology without even thinking about it, y'all. Did not update my equipment today. Because what? I can't keep not doing all that. Proofread. I need to be good. I need to do better at that. Mythological Mercury could be a trickster when he worked for himself, but he also played the role of psychopomp, shaman, diving into the underworld to escort trapped spirits out of it. If you need to go down into your own personal underworld, it may be time to walk with a therapist, shamanic healer, or other Integra's guide into that deep realm. Challenge. When a quick mind is not connected to the heart, it can cause trouble. Watch out for the busy hamster wheel of the mind, shallow thinking, scattered, dishonest, or glib approaches, and mistakes made when in a rush. Okay. One thing to combat that is literally to take a deep breath. Like try to breathe down into the deepest part of your lungs, because our lungs are at least this big. So try to fill your lungs up in through your nose, fill your lungs up all the way, hold it, and then let it out of your mouth. Okay? Take a real deep breath at least 3 times a day, people. You will not understand how much because some people don't realize that they don't breathe right. Like, you take a deep breath and you might start crying. Because you're just not breathing. So you're not letting the fucking filtration system filtrate. So that's my offering within the offering, okay? Gift. Mercury was a messenger of the gods. Listen deeply to the messages of your soul, the conduit to spirit, and become the messenger. Man, let's look. We all have a voice. We're supposed to use it. Okay. Now we on to our last message. And it is relating, number 6, and is associated with the earth element. So the material, the tangible, what we can grab and touch and feel with our senses. So keywords: comparison, others, projections, self-reliance. Okay, I feel like this has to deal directly, like what I was talking about earlier. All these systems, even the systems within the systems, like the systems we have created in response to being infiltrated, even those systems. Okay, I think that's what we're talking about. Like, a lot of the way that we have learned to relate to each other is through lack, really. So we really have to slow down and really think about how we relate to everything in our reality, to other people, 111, to other people, to our environment, to our things, because like it said, energy is in alignment with matter. So we have to review this relationship. How do we relate to the things and the people around us? How do we relate to ourselves when we are around all these things? You know? But, and like I was saying, like, the system is afraid of us flipping it. So it's projecting that fear back onto us. It's reflecting that fear back onto us, trying to make us fear for our lives, trying to make us be fearful that we're not going to have enough to eat, make us fearful that we're not going to have enough food, we're not going to have enough water to drink, we're not going to have anywhere to live, we're not going to be able to raise our kids. Like, they are projecting this fear onto us as if we are the problem, and we are not. We are the source. We are literally their fuel. Okay? So there's no need to compare. as a way to separate. If we're going to compare, it's to see what's useful, back to that Venus and Virgo energy, and just Mercury and energy in general. Because that's what Mercury does. The lungs filter out what the oxygen and lets go of the carbon dioxide. Okay, the gut filters out the junk and the nutrition. You see what I'm saying? So that's really what we're doing. And Virgo is an earth sign. So we're learning to rely on this innate wisdom of knowing what is genuinely nourishing us in our ascension process and what is just junk. Okay, a lot of that junk is the projection from these systems and these subsystems. Okay, and we're learning to stop comparing our outputs to what they say we should compare it to. Like, we're not machines, okay? Libras are the closest thing. Laughing but very serious. I would say all air signs, really. But that's neither here or there, and I'm not trying to debate. It doesn't fucking matter. That's neither here or there. But that's what I'm saying. They want us to compare ourselves to machines, basically. Like, oh, you can't do this. Like, all the AI, like, people are relying on AI. That's another thing. Like, people are they're making us afraid that we won't have anybody to go through the underworld with. Like, and if we're in the underworld in general, something's wrong with us. Look, y'all, K-pop Demon Hunters? Deep. Deep. Because that's what this is reminding me of. That's just one of the most recent movies with that theme that I watched. But, you know, no more hiding. We can rely on ourselves beyond these systems. We can rely on what we know to be true about the human condition without what these systems have told us what the human condition is. Because, in words, I promise you, I did not go to school and they wasn't teaching me nothing about no goddamn dreams. Why was I at 444? Why was I 5 dreaming about swinging in the rainforest in the Amazon? They ain't teaching us stuff like that, but it happened. Okay? They wasn't teaching me at 2, 3 years old that when I have it at 4, 5, 6. When I had a dream about what I recently discovered is the Tamil culture. And I'm like, there's no way that they was going to be able to teach me stuff about that. So we can rely on the information that we get. And we can use their resources to fortify ourselves. Okay? That's all we need to rely on them for, is all that goddamn equipment that y'all got. Run it here, yes. Run encyclopedias, all that. Give me all the books. Give me all the books. Give me all the body equipment. Give it to me. And my people. And we'll distribute it. How about that? But yes, y'all. So basically, I know I have a video on here when we were being initiated into the water element. I feel like this is a collective initiation into the fire element. The fire element. Learn how to use that properly. Because it's about to be Leo season. 616. It's about to be Leo season. It's about to be the 8/8 portal. It's the dog days of summer. Like, yes. This is an initiation into fire. The element of fire, you guys. Ain't that cute? Because that's what's gonna, just like the zodiac starts with the fire sign, we're starting at the beginning. We are starting to live within the 5D. We're starting to integrate 5D principles into our reality now. Because we back at the beginning. Because water, the zodiac starts in fire and ends in water. Okay? We've already had our initiation into water. Now we're going into our initiation into fire. So yes, y'all. We are undefeated and we are unbeatable. And we have everything we need to ascend. Okay? Don't let them fearmonger you and don't let them rage bait you. Sometimes rage bait and being rage baited, sometimes it's kind of funny, but so I saw a post not too long ago where somebody said, like, rage baiting is demonic. And again, K-pop Demon Hunters definitely, I feel like it did a really good job of, like, minimizing what demons really are. Like, they're just ugly motherfuckers. Like, they're just ugly motherfuckers. There's lots of ugly stuff. Bugs are ugly as fuck, really. But they here. So this is what I'm saying, like, I do think it's an interesting perspective, though. Like, 818, don't let anything infiltrate you to where now you're acting out. But I feel like sometimes it's just good to know what your triggers are. Like, if something triggers you, observe that. You know, don't act on it. I feel like where the demon wins is when you let it change what you would normally do. That's the only time the demon wins. But, like, noticing a demon doesn't automatically make it have power over you. Like, I don't know, because like in K-pop Demon Hunters, like, they had to listen to the music. Like, that's where the demons would be. And that's another good example of how speaking things into it, like, just the power of the voice in general, and what can diminish the quality of the voice, because the voice is your self-expression, you know. But yeah, y'all, my kids, when it first came out, my kids were too young. They're older this year, so I've finally been able to watch it, and I'm genuinely pleased. I'm genuinely more pleased with the animated films and things like that than I am with films with actual people. Because films with actual people, you know, it's kind of limited. So the animated films, I do appreciate them, especially the one geared toward children. And yeah, that's definitely inspired me in ways, so you guys be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for some newness of the Perlinwood community. But yes, if you guys been paying attention, the Perlinwood community is expanding. Tap into my Ko-Fi, all that stuff. I'm getting better at it, you know, putting it in the comments, putting it on the community board. You guys, look, my Uranus is in Capricorn. I'm learning how to utilize this internet and create structure. Feel me? But alright, y'all, me and my awkward outros. We'll chat. We have plenty to chat about. Leo season, August. We have plenty to chat about. So, talk soon.